Hi everyone, my name is John Carrillo. I'm a retired casino table games dealer and supervisor for 25 years. Now I'm retired and I work for the casino, and they've asked me to share knowledge of things that I have knowledge of. First thing I thought is blackjack. Casino blackjack is a little different than what I'm going to be instructing today, namely because I don't have a half of chip that I can make on the payouts that the casino would have. So some of my odds will be slightly different from actual live casino. First thing I wanted to bring up is to play casino blackjack, no food is allowed at the table, and drinks are allowed, but the casino will provide cup holders, depending on their budget. They do want you to drink at the table, they don't want you to mess up your food. Every casino blackjack table will have certain information on the table. One of them is table minimum and table maximums. For my examples, I'm going to use $5 game as the minimum, and don't think it'll be shown in this video, but we'll say $100 maximum. For the purposes of the illustrations, every chip, regardless of color, will be $5 value. The reason we use the chips is because to get into a player's psyche, if they're putting their actual cash on the table, they see it going, they see it being bet, they see it losing, they see it winning. They're a little bit more hesitant about cash if you can see the actual cash. But if you buy in and you get chips, oh, we're just playing with chips. It doesn't translate to people that this is actual money. It's just gaming pieces. So you'll blow through this whole thing and not realize how much you lost, and the casino counts on that. All right. Other information that must be on the table. I don't know if we can zoom a little. This is my simulated blackjack table. I don't know if we can see it. Every blackjack table in the casino must have an insurance line written on the table. Insurance in most casinos will pay 2 to 1, but the problem of me not having a half chip at the Prairie Creek blackjack table, our insurance pays even money. Even money means if you bet $5 on an insurance bet and it wins, I give you $5. The next must be on the table is the dealer stands, or the dealer drawing rule. For this example, the dealer will draw to a 16 and will stand on all 17s. This does vary from casino to casino. Some casinos will hit soft 17s or have possibly a different variation of that. The last thing that must be written on the table is the payout of blackjack. So again, since I don't have a half chip, blackjacks at the library casino will pay 2 to 1, and this is way more than any casino in the world would ever pay for a blackjack. The standard is usually 3 to 2, or some casinos have gone down to 6 to 5. All right. Now from my lovely assistant Libby here, we have no verbal telling the dealer what to do. The game is under surveillance. It's under surveillance 24 hours, and there's no sound on it. So the game must be played through hand signals so the casino can verify what the player wanted. And we'll go into the hand signals shortly. For blackjack, every card is worth the value of the card. Jacks, queens, kings, and tens are all worth 10. Aces will be worth 1 or 11, whatever makes the hand better. So if you stand on a 6 and an ace, your hand will be 17. A soft hand, if I use that term, is any hand where the ace stands for an 11. All right. For those hand signals, we have 4 hand signals. Any downward tap or a point down simulation means you want to hit it. That means I'll give you a card. I can hit any value cards you have, any number of cards you have, as long as it doesn't go over 21. If it goes over 21, your hand busts, you lose. If you want, you can even hit your 20s. It is not recommended at all by anybody. But in that case, I do still need a hand signal that you are definitely proving that you want to hit your 20. Hand signal number 2 is a horizontal wave over your money, over your cards, over the table. It means you want to stand. Wherever you're at on the table, your hand, it will stay at that. I will give you no more cards, and then I will advance to the next player. Under the same terms, if you have a pair of 2s, your hand is a value of 4, and you want to stand, and you give me a wave, you can stand on any hand you want, as long as it's still in play. The third hand signal I need is an index finger raised. You give me the your number 1 signal. To give me the number 1 signal signals that you wish to double down on your hand, and I will go into that a bit later. A double down hand means you only want to play your hand with 1 more card. That's why you're giving me the number 1. The fourth hand signal I take is the V or the peace sign with your hand. You give me the V, it means you've decided to split your hand. Splitting your hand, you can do if both your cards are of the same value. Splitting means you want to play 2 separate hands instead of just 1. And 10s, jacks, queens, kings are all worth 10. You may split a 10 king if you want because they are of the same value. Not recommended because a 20 is the second highest hand you can have in the game, but it is possible. The only other additional rule on splitting is that the casino will post rules for splitting aces. For my examples, aces will get 1 additional card, and that's how they will stand unless that additional card is another ace, in which they may split again. We will allow splitting for up to 3 times to get 4 hands for a single player. All right. Let's get build an example, since that's what I want. All right. For this example, player's in the circle, player gets their 2 cards, player gets an 11. This is a very highly recommended hand to double down on. You will only get 1 card, and that's what the hand will play. So to double down, you make an additional wager next to your original bet. And what's the hand signal for double down? Excuse me, your number 1. So she will get 1 additional card. That's how her hand would play. Let's just see how it plays out. I get an 8, 13, 19. Well, in this case, I won. Just like a real casino. All right. I wanted to show a split. There we go. I don't want to jig. Go something low. Alright. So put up your original bet. I deal her a pair of 7s, and the dealer has a 5 up. A recommended split hand. To split, she gives me the V, peace sign. She will put up a wager identical to her original wager. At this point, I split those wagers. We play 2 hands. We will play them individually. They will not get one card each and then play. So, happen to get another 7. You have the option, you may split again. You can go up to 4 total hands per splitting. She'll split again, put it next to it. No, that's fine. I will make room on the table for them to fit. You have an 11, which in this case is a recommended double down. You may double down on your splits. So put one wager next to it. Move on to the next hand. We have a 12 against my 5. This is kind of a 50-50 hand. I would say the majority would stand on it, but it's also some people would hit it. You want to stand on the 12. All right. I've got a 10 on this last hand. That is also a good double down hand. Just saying. Give me the 1 card. You are not getting good cards. Hopefully I can bust. I have 14. I have 19. 16 loses, 12 loses, 16 loses. Ideally, you would want to win those hands. You were supposed to split and double down when it's in your favor to do so. I doubt it will be seen, but just to say it's available. We have this as a basic strategy for Blackjack. We have it downstairs. It's available if anyone wants to come in and get a copy of it. It is available online. There are slight variations of it, but the variations are probably less than 1%. So if you get any copy of a Blackjack basic strategy, they'll all pretty much look the same. It'll give you the recommendations when it's in your favor to split and double down. All right. An actual Blackjack hand is a 2-card hand that equals 21. If you have a 3-card 21, 5, 6-card 21, that's just a 21 hand. Blackjack must be a 10 value and an ace. A Blackjack hand ranks higher than any other 21 value card. If the house ever has a Blackjack, the hand's immediately over. Everyone loses unless they have a 2-card Blackjack also, at which point they would just push, not win and not lose. Anytime the dealer has an ace up, this is now the insurance wager, I will offer anyone on the table with a Blackjack even money to drop out of the hand. Basically, you're going to take that payment before finding out if I have a Blackjack or not. The casino would probably not offer even money at this point if it was in your favor, because the casino does not offer any advantage to the players. So we offer even money to anyone with Blackjack. And again, most people say no. And then I would close. Next, I would offer the insurance payment. Insurance bet is that anyone can bet that they think I have a blackjack. To let you know, insurance should be the only line on the table that's in all capital letters. It might be on a bright strip. It might have some contrast. The casino really wants you to take insurance. And why? Because it favors the house. Most of the time, it's not in your advantage to take insurance. It's there to scare you. So if you do take it, you're going to lose it more often than win it. For our examples, insurance on this table pays 2 to 1, which is more than a casino would offer. All right, so people have the option to bet insurance if they make an insurance bet. And then check, I have 21. Their hand would lose, but their insurance wager they made would win even money. So in actuality, they did not lose anything, which is what insurance is. Cover your losses. If people made wagers and made insurance bets, and I didn't have 21, the insurance bets would lose and the hand would progress as a normal hand. So making your insurance bets, you either break even or lose. Which is why the casino wants you to do it. All right. The reason blackjack is offered in the casino is because, well, any game offered in the casino, the odds are in the house's favor, or it wouldn't be in the casino. My simplified reason for why blackjack is a house advantage is because they make you decide on your hand first before the house does anything. Whoever has to make the first decision takes the risk. All right. Now for, let's see, I guess this is more player etiquette. Players should be friendly with your dealers. It's very important. Your dealer wants people to win. Players should also be friendly to the other players on the game. It promotes if you believe in karma, and it usually brings good luck to the table. Players can play blackjack any way they choose, but if they don't play a basic strategy-based system, they're just giving more edge to the house. The basic strategy tries to lower the odds of the house winning. It'll never favor the player, but it'll just be better than if you guess at your hand. If you're unsure about how to play a hand, your dealer, the pit boss behind him, and other players on the table are probably all familiar with basic strategy. In the casino where I worked, they had a monitor on every table, and they could look up within a second basic strategy, and they could tell you what it recommends to do. Basic strategy is only a recommendation. If you do not wish to follow basic strategy, you do not have to. All right, now on to this next line. This middle line of the dealer draws to 16s, and he'll stand on all 17s. It came up in my last class. We draw on all 16s, even if I've already lost to the players. I'll stand on all 17s, again, even if I've lost to all the players. The dealer makes no choice. This is standard on the table, and they don't see what your values are when they're playing their hand. So if I'm playing one hand, I follow that rule. If I'm playing against 6 hands, I'm still following that rule. They're assuming that I can win at least 3 of the 6 spots on the table, if or more, and make money for the house. All right. Next part I want to cover, the dealer decisions. These are 2 simulated, separate dealer hands. In general, if the dealer has an up card showing of 7 or higher, and for this examples, we're going to say ace counts as a high card. It is generally recommended the players hit until their hand is 17 or higher to follow the basic house rule. So put up a wager. You're playing the 19. I'll give you 2 cards. What would you be recommended to do against the nut?
Hit.
Recommended hit, because it's 12 is proper. We don't know what the bottom card is, but if it has to be 1 card, it's most likely a 10. So that's why players play with the assumption that this is a 19. 12 won't beat a 19, so the recommended hit. She did tap the table, so now she has a 19. Recommended stand, because it's at least 17 or more. Now I have to decide. House says 12. House is too many. That's how I should play. Make your bet for the next hand. All right. This case, I have a 3 up. If the dealer's up card is a 2 through 6, players call this a bust hand. We're assuming the card underneath is 10. So regardless of what's underneath, I'm going to keep drawing through 16s until I have at least 17 or more. If this is a 10 underneath, and if I can draw another 10, I bust. Everybody who's still in wins. So it's generally recommended players stop versus a bust card if they have a 12 or sometimes a 13. Just for likeliness, she doesn't have a 12, so I would recommend hitting. But what do you notice?
I have no idea.
This would be a good recommended double down hand. You have an 11 and I have a low card up. So I would recommend doubling if you have the bankroll for it, or just hitting if you don't want to risk more money.
Oh, okay.
So put 1 more down. She'll get 1 card. She's playing a 21. We both know I can't beat her, so hopefully I don't get 21. I draw to 17. I didn't bust, but I have to stand on my 17. Clear wins. All right, this one just looks like information. To let everyone know, card counting is not illegal. Card counting is basically, in your head, you rank high cards as a positive value and low cards as a negative value. And you can track every card as it comes out. You can kind of, towards the end of the shoe, anticipate, are there high cards or low cards left? Be aware though that no matter what the plus or minus advantage of your card count is, the count is divided by the number of decks remaining in the shoe. Most casinos will play with 8 decks, some will play with 6, some in Vegas will have single and double deck. But if you get a real good, say, plus count, and then you realize I've got 4 decks left in the shoe, you got to take that plus card count and divide it by 4 decks, which makes it a much less valid positive count. All right. Although card counting is not illegal, the casino reserves the right to back off any player at any table for any reason. So if a dealer notices you mouthing a count, if they see you using your fingers on every card that's pulled, surveillance sees this, they can call down, they'll watch you. If you're losing, casino won't do anything about it, because you're not a very good card counter. If you're counting cards and you start winning, and you make everything that you've lost, and you've doubled, tripled, 4 times your money, 10 times your money, that's about how long as it'll take for them to get a manager, and the manager will come down, back you off the table and say, hey, congratulations. You beat us at blackjack today, but we're not going to deal any more blackjack to you. You're more than welcome to play any of our other tables or slots. Have a good day. It's not confrontational, it's just them letting you know we don't want your blackjack business. If you get backed off of a table, it can be for the day, it can be for 30 days, it can be permanent if they choose not to deal blackjack to you. Table limits, generally in the Midwest, are kept low, and are kept low for a reason. It's to discourage card counting teams and cheaters from playing at their casino. They can get the exact same play with more favorable winning. Bigger places like Vegas, like Atlantic City, like any of those Monte Carlo. Places with higher limits will attract more people trying to steal those limits. I didn't bring this up in my class, I'm bringing it up now. It's a style of betting called progressive betting. And essentially it's with variations. Say you lose your first hand. You've lost $5. A progressive bettor will then play the next hand $10. They'll win the 5 they lost, and they'll win another hand. If they lose that hand, now they're down 15. They'll play 15 or 20, hoping to progress their values to win back what they've lost. If they win that, they'll then wager 30 to win back what they've lost to break even. So a player that increases after every loss, we call a progressive bettor. Progressive betting can be stopped again by lowering the table limits. At the beginning of class, I said a table max of 100. It wouldn't take much. It would take up until now 1 more bet and they're at table max. If that loses, they can't progress anymore. They're stuck at 100. Some houses offer variations of blackjack. I told you our basic setup for the library, if we should do a blackjack tournament. Be aware some houses offer what's called a 5-card Charlie, maybe a little different wording, where if a player can play and get any 5 cards and not bust, they automatically win. They don't have to beat the house. Another common wager for blackjack is the surrender, and houses can vary on which house offers a surrender, and they vary on which hands you can surrender. A surrender, let's get a good example here. Say I give you a 15, and I've got a face card up. This is not a very strong hand at all. If your house offers a surrender, I'll use for this example $10. You could just inform the dealer you want to surrender. I never dealt in a casino that had surrender, so I don't know what the signal is. Maybe just wave and get their attention. I want to surrender. I would assume that's what it is. Surrender means, and I wrote it down, you'll take half your wager. No, that's not what it means. Here, since I didn't deal surrender. You'll take half your wager and drop out of the hand. So you've still lost, but you've only lost half as much as you would have wagered if I were to turn it over and play the hand. Which, oh, I would have beat you. That is most of my instruction for Blackjack. If you have any questions about something that didn't make sense, something that maybe I didn't cover, now would be a time to let me know.
I don't think so.
If you noticed anything, and if anyone at home notices a situation that I didn't cover, I work middays, Monday through Thursday, and I'd be more than happy to give you a recommended instruction. Eventually, we will have another Blackjack tournament for gift cards. There will be no cash wagering because it's illegal for us to have a cash game in the library. We don't have a gaming license. But for fun, for people that want to learn, would you care to play a few hands?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Every chip is $5. We have a minimum of 5. We have a maximum of $100. You can play up to 2 hands, and we will simulate Blackjack game. All right. For player, one for the dealer. Blackjack for the player. Oh, says a 17. I can't beat Blackjack, so I will turn my hand over. The hand is done. Blackjack in the library pays 2 to 1. It's written on the table. Next hand. Player 1, you can advance it more. You can play the 2. She gets 1. House gets 1. Blackjack again.
Stack the deck or something?
And I do not have a blackjack. There's no way I can get 21. She pays 2 to 1. Foolish bets. Increase. Sorry. No more bets. Some other things I have to do. I also have to call no more bets when I'm dealing, which means whatever's in the circle is what will play. If the player doesn't have their money in the circle and I wave no more bets, then they're out of this hand. If I see a player is playing slow, I will kind of make eye contact with that player and say, "Do you want in this hand? Because we're ready to go." So I'll give no more bets, play the hand. I will call out what every single player's hand is. Some players are distracted, some players are playing just for fun. Some players might be bad at math. For whatever reason, I want them to know what their hand is. You've got an 11, and if they think they have something else, then they can look at it and say, "Oh, yeah, I do have an 11. I thought I had a 12. So, you have an 11, I have a 9 up. In my opinion, it's about a 50-50. If you want to double down on this, chances are I have a 19. If you don't want to double down, you can play it like a normal hand. You want to double, then I need $10 more placed next to that bet. Also, I should mention, the original bet is in the middle of a betting circle. If you need to add to it for any reason, make it come in on the side. If you make it come on the top, it might look the surveillance that you're trying to cheat. People have, say, made a $10 wager, got their chips in their hand, I can't see what they have. They want to double down on it and just put a stack on it. Now, unless I made a mental note of what their original bet is, I don't know exactly how much it should be. So all I can do is just look at it and give half back. They've managed to increase their bet without it's taking a shot at me. But anyway, she wanted to double down, put money next to it, gave me the number 1. So she'll get the next card, 18. Let's say it's 11. 13. Too many. All winning blackjack bets on even money. These cards would travel a lot smoother if I was on a felt table, but I deal with what I have. Place your bets. Not a 21. Oh, that's it. All right, this was one of those. 6 is the recommended bust card for the house. So, no matter what I have underneath here, I have to draw a card. If there's a chance for either of us to bust, you'd rather I bust. So it's generally recommended to stand on that 13 and let the house bust. But it's just a recommendation. You can play any way you want.
I'll stand.
You'll stick. House has a 12. House has 20. When it's over, everyone's got a clear second sight. They can look backwards. You talked me out of hitting. Had I hit, I would have got 21. And of course, it would be my fault. All I can do is recommend. Table's open. Place your bets. Alright, I accidentally turned mine over. This would be the card that would have been turned over anyway. So I just decided this one underneath. In this specific case, anytime the house has a 10 up, 10 value card, there's a chance that there's an ace underneath it. So I need to immediately check if I have blackjack. If I do have blackjack, everybody who doesn't have a blackjack loses. If I don't have blackjack, it just progresses like a normal hand. Insurance is only offered if this up card is the ace, though. So I'm not offering insurance to anybody. But I am checking to see if it's a blackjack. And in this case, it is. All right. Place your wagers. This time I want you to play 2 hands.
Sure. So I can put up my chip.
Let me see if they're more interactive. One for you, one
I'm
for
always so good at math.
All right. First hand, 14. 9 would be a hold card. You're generally going to play that the house has 19. So if you have a 14, it's not going to beat a 19. I'm going to recommend, you don't have to, but I'm going to recommend you hit that to increase your chances of winning. That didn't help. You're 9, you can't bust, you might as well take a hit. You have 13. Isn't that what they had? Again, I would recommend 13 is not going to beat the 19. Because I made you play 2 hands. I would have had 15, and at any point, the chance to bust. Table's open. Place your weight. Back to 1. luck with the 1.
Yep.
Alright. I do not have blackjack. You have a 9. Assume that I have a 20. 9's not going to be 20. You have 18. 18's not going to be 20. But a house would stand on an 18, so we recommend you stand on an 18. I do have 18. We both have the same value. I push the bet, doesn't win, doesn't lose. They train dealers to keep talking. They train dealers to try to get you to press your bets. They train dealers to make your risk more. They train dealers to have fun with you. I would fill this space and say, game is open. Cute little saying of press, change, rearrange. Which means you can add to that. You can bet 2 hands. Do something to change the luck. Alright, so you have 16, I have a 3 showing. 3 is considered a bust card for the house, and you have 12 or more. So we'd recommend that you stay on that and let me bust. But it's only a recommendation.
I'll stand.
Any way you want. 9. Oh. 19. In this example, this king wouldn't have helped your hand anyway. It was a no-win situation. Place your bets, table's open. All right, 7 against a 10. 17. Recommend to stand. House has 20. So all those hands you were winning in the beginning, now it's evening out. Blackjack. Yay. I do not have a blackjack. Your hand would win first and automatically, as I cannot beat it. Our blackjacks pay 2 to 1. She's already won that hand, so this is basically playing house money. Even if she loses $5, she's already won 10. You know I don't have blackjack and you have a 14. You think 14 can beat 20? No? Alright. That didn't work. So these are just recommendations. You play however you want. If you want to play a one-on-one game, because you don't like other players messing up your draws. If you rather play a packed game and have everyone be happy together, might just be the way you like to play. Nobody likes the person on the table that constantly complains that they're always losing. We don't put super glue on the chairs. We don't put your feet in cement. If you feel you're losing every hand and it's not fun, get up. There's nobody forcing you with a gun to your head to sit at this table. The dealer cannot leave. The cards cannot change. They're in the order that they're in. I'm pulling them out one at a time with the directions from players who want to hit and want to stand. So really, if it's gotten to the point where you're unhappy at the table, the best way to do is pick up your chips and leave. Pick another table, pick a different game, go play slots, or go home and take a nap. Buy yourself a steak, do something else you enjoy. Personally, if I'm playing a table game and I'm up a little bit, and I realize I'm up a little bit, I'll go ahead and leave, and then I'll buy something physically from the store, So then I know that money that I just won actually went to something, and that I don't have the chance to give it back to the casino. I believe that's all we have for Blackjack. Again, any questions, any information? I'm John Thurlow, Prairie Creek Library.